Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Art Chat Daddy Sims, and I'm back to hang out with you guys for another Monday evening of all the latest updates of the news stories from the weekend as well as the day. We have the latest COVID-19 statistics for you. Thank goodness our death rate here in the state of Illinois has dropped quite a bit. We are very happy about that. We'll tell you guys other things throughout the show about COVID as well too. And we are still very much talking about our brother George Floyd. We are now 10 days after what has happened to Mr. Floyd, and today he was lying in repose in Houston, Texas. Tomorrow will be his private homegoing service. So we have a lot to cover this evening on the show. So do me a favor, start a watch party, share the page. Kay Renee, do you know how to do a watch party, darling?
I don't. Let me.
Do you have Facebook up? If you have Facebook up, all you have to do is go to my page and hit that watch party, and that'll start a watch party, and that way people are able to see us tonight and we'll have a great time. I have a wonderful co-host tonight. I just love and adore this woman. We actually will probably have to talk about how many years have we actually been knowing each other. But what I'm really mad about now, this is what I'm happy about. I finally have hair like hers. She's always had fabulous hair. And that's her hair. Unless things have changed, but that's her hair. Okay? So now I have fabulous hair like her, but we have been friends for so long, but she's an ageless beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show businesswoman, author, creative force. She does what I love every day, which is Karen's Nuggets. And every day she leaves just a little nugget of wisdom on you. I call her Kay Renee Mason, but tonight she's Karen Renee Mason or Karen Mason, but I want Kay Renee tonight. I do. That's my friend that I know. Welcome her to the show. Yay!
Thank you, Art, so much for having me. I was just so honored, and I'm really humbled that you asked me to be your guest co-host tonight. And you're right, we've known each other for, we won't say how many years now, not right now, but it's been a long time, ladies and gents, long time.
Well, let me tell you how we say it on this show. This show, to keep from aging people, you and I met in the sandbox. We were in the sandbox together. Right. We were in the sandbox. We were just really mature children in the sandbox.
Right.
There you go, baby. There you go. I know what to do.
Right.
I know. Yes. So tell everybody about yourself, and then we got to talk about, you look great. You look so much slimmer. You look good. What's been going on? Tell us about yourself, and then let's talk about that.
Well, as you know, Art, since we were in the sandbox, I'm a native Chicagoan, South Side, gotta represent, and went to high school here, Whitney Young. Are there any Dolphins out there? Right in the box, Whitney Young Dolphins, because I'm proud of that.
Okay, you Whitney Young Dolphins, get on here.
Whitney Young Dolphins, class of
right, sandbox.
In the sandbox.
In the sandbox.
And went to college here, UIC, majored in accounting. Now, a lot of people, when they see me, they're like, you a what? An accountant? No. I'm actually, my background in the last 20 plus years was been in audit and compliance. But as Art mentioned, I am an author, a published author. We won't talk about the book just yet. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
But I've had the pleasure of just writing really throughout my life, and really didn't know that writing was my passion. It started, when I was married, and had a column at the time when I was married to my former husband, and it just kind of grew from there. And blogging is something I never really knew about. In fact, my former mentor had suggested, you need to really think about writing a blog about your experiences. You've always provided such inspirational messages. And actually how that started was, as you remember, Art, when my parents, rest their soul, my mom was in a bad auto accident. It's been 15 years ago now, where she was ejected from the car over 200 feet. They were heading down to Memphis for a family reunion, and
Yes.
I was on a business trip, flying back home. Had to drive down to Champaign, and I didn't know whether or not my mom was going to live or die. And it was
Mm.
during that time I would always send updates to my distribution list. Um, and letting them know how my mom was doing, but always giving people inspirational messages. But for me, it was more cathartic more than anything. And so from
Hmm.
there, it kind of started by presenting those nuggets. Both you and I, we have a spirit, we have a like line spiritually, because you know who our spiritual mama is, the
Yeah,
Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. So
that's right. That's right.
I'm
Yes.
always, that's who I am. And so, one person said, you have those little nuggets. And I thought about nuggets. I like that. I'm just gonna add the K to it instead of putting in the regular uh, word. Just put Karen's Nuggets, and literally that's how Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge started. Last year, I officially launched on my maternal uncle, my second dad's birthday, May 19th, and really just providing nuggets, and always still doing my blog. It's really personal. There's stories that I've written that have a personal edge, but always have a lesson. And
Uh-huh.
and as you know, and talk about this later. One thing I love to do besides writing, I love to bake, and I bake the best sweet potato pie. And everybody knows this of the Midwest, because Miss Patty LaBelle, love of the life, she ain't got nothing on me. So
Look,
in order,
honey,
you know this, right?
this woman right here takes the sweet potato and she squeezes the tater out of the sweet potato. She does. Then she sprinkles something on it, mixes it a little bit, and it's heaven in your mouth. She really does. It's a good
And
pie. It
and
really is.
that
It'll make you slap somebody.
and here's the thing that came from my mother, my late mom, Mrs. Claristine Mason, my nana, Mrs. Neilme Ridgway Washington Hudson, who was a baker here in the Salerno Bakery on Cicero many years ago, taught me how to bake. But really, the most important ingredient, I'd say this, is love.
Yep.
I bake
Yep.
all my pies with love. And when
Right.
you bake with love, they have to turn out good.
Right.
So with
Absolutely.
that, I never would sell them. I always would give them away as gifts, especially during that time when my mom was convalescing. But now it's like, now my I from that came my company, All Potato Sweet. So I do make pies on custom. If people want to definitely purchase a pie, they can let me know. But that's something I just love to do. I have a ritual on how I bake my pies. So
So now,
baking.
Karen, K Renee, the way I look at this is therapeutic for you. This has been like therapy for you, because
It
yeah,
has.
your mom situation was just so heart wrenching in so many ways, and just and I know your love of your dad and your family,
Oh
just
God, yeah.
even your godfather. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've known
Yes,
you a long time,
that's
and
right. Because
so
you knew Jacoby Dickens, who was
oh,
board chairman of the
absolutely,
Seaway National Bank. That was my godfather, and I had a nuclei family with my parents and my grandmother and my uncle. They're all gone now because I'm the only child. But one thing that I've really been blessed to have people like yourself. I have a tribe, and I'll tell anyone, you can't make it in this world by yourself. I
hmm
have a original quote. You may come here by yourself, you will
right.
leave by yourself, but you can't make it in this world by yourself.
I agree with you 100%. A book, and this just came to me that I think would be a perfect book for you to write, is that journey of a only child when everybody is gone. I have another friend in the
Oh
same
wow.
situation as yourself, and
Mhm.
really, I'm gonna connect you two. But I think
Please
you and
do.
her, or anybody who's been, especially girls, you are a daddy's girl.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Yeah, so I can only imagine how that's all, going through your emotions right now. I really,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
as Father's Day is coming up, when my father made his transition, because like you, what you may not know, Art, my dad had myelofibrosis, which is a form of leukemia.
yeah,
And
yeah.
interestingly enough, it's not common in the Black community. I was really when I
It's a rare
It's
form.
a
Yeah,
rare
you're
form of
absolutely
blood
right.
cancer. And my father was a strong, you met my dad. He was, he was just my strength. And when he left me, I was devastated. mean, devastated, because he was my rock. And I'll tell any man, and I'll say this right now, for all men who have children, as Father Day is coming up, how you treat your daughter, your wife, your sister, your mother is indicative, and how that little girl will grow up to work, be around men. Period. And my father, James Mason Jr., bless his heart, I know he's always with me. He taught me how to deal with men. And so I'm just always very greatly appreciated. We'll be approaching Father's Day in a few weeks, but he had myelofibrosis. And the thing that really took him out was he had pneumonia, because it's an immune disorder that if you have anything else, it just exacerbates. And he was gone literally. He had it for 20 years, Art, but he was gone. Once he had pneumonia, he was gone in months.
Oh, I can imagine. That's
Yeah.
why I had to take extra precaution and extra care during this pandemic. That, you know, I have no problem with being in the house. I can find things to do. I now do 2 shows a day. I'm actively looking for other opportunities and outlets. I'm taking Chinese sign language. Girl, I look. I
You are pivoting.
Yes,
You are
I have
pivoting.
yes. So I've redirected my energy in ways you
Yes.
would not believe. But
Yes.
you know, with the type of leukemia I have, I'm just like your dad. How he was. I have to be extremely careful
Yes.
about what comes in contact with me. You know.
Exactly.
So yeah. All right. Well, I love that. I really, really do. I'm definitely gonna introduce you guys to each other, because I think a book from women about being an only child,
Yes,
and then being left behind, I think that is just a great read. I would love to know
oh my
more.
goodness. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, during that time too, you know, because I'm a creator, I should have brought this, but I created a legacy book for both of my parents. And that is something that I truly enjoyed doing for them. So it was just, as I said, I've always been a creator, just didn't know it at the time.
Right, right. Well,
Yeah.
you know what, I think that is really great. I'm going to give the latest COVID up 19 numbers and things like that. I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back to you. Give me just 1 second. So
Okay.
today, Illinois health officials reported 658 new known cases of coronavirus, which is the lowest daily number of new known cases reported statewide since March 30th. There are also 23 additional fatalities reported, which is really good, because we've always reported numbers in the hundreds, low 80s, high 90s. So 23 is actually good, but our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone's family who's been affected by COVID. This brings the state total to 128,415 known cases and a total of 5,924 deaths since the pandemic has begun. Earlier today, the Chicago Park District announced modified summer camps that will run at 148 parks this summer. The camps will start on July 6th, and instead of the usual last week of June, they will last through mid-August. So get your young people in summer camp. It's all about masking them up. It's all about staying safe, staying healthy.
Yes.
Aaron, are you ready? Because like I was out today because of our guests. Let me also tell everybody who else coming on the show with us tonight.
Yes.
The president and CEO of Pillar Insurance, my good friend, Mr. Maurice Green, will join us tonight. And a lot of our small business owners may or may not be able to come back after all the looting and rioting as a response to the death of George Floyd. And so he'll be here tonight to talk to us about how insurance policies read, what is and what is not covered. Is there anything that insurance owners can do? Where can they possibly get some help? Whatever the case may be, if you know a small Black business owner or any minority owner, period, you need to make sure you guys are around later on this show. So do me a favor, go to the Real Chat Daddy Show page, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. That's the Real Chat Daddy Show page. And just share this, like it, start a watch party, text some people, send it in Messenger and say, hey, we got an insurance man coming on later on tonight to talk to us about, whether or not these businesses going to be able to come back. You thought you
Right.
had full insurance and you may only have liability insurance. And so
Or
here,
may have no insurance.
or look, as they said, nunion insurance. You might have not have
That's
nunion.
right.
You ain't got
That's
nunion.
right.
That's right. You ain't got nunion. So yes, my very special guest co-host tonight is Kay Renee. Well, no, it's actually Karen Renee Mason, but I call her Kay Renee. But she is an author, businesswoman, all around just wonderful young lady. I just love and adore her. As I always say when I have female guests, we've been knowing each other since the sandbox. And we both are 21 years old. We're not going.
That's right.
Yeah. We're not. We just gonna leave it like that. And Kay Renee is actually gonna talk to us about CBD a little bit later in the show.
Yes.
Honey, you talking about CBD? Not the good girl. Not the good girl. Really?
Yes, we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of CBD, and it's definitely for me because I personally use CBD. And you be like, how do you use CBD? We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, cool. Because look, I don't even know if you even drank alcohol when we used to hang out back in the day.
I had my favorite drink. I talk about that in that book I wrote.
Wait, what was your favorite drink? The
Bailey's on the rocks.
And see, girl, Bailey's to me is like drinking a yogurt drink. I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? That's why I never thought of you as a drinker, like Bailey.
Well, the reason why my late father was a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
And one of the things that he was afraid of, that once he started his rehab process and recovery, he did not really want me to drink. So out of respect for him, I didn't really go that route. And I'm hoping, I know he's very proud now, but yeah.
Well, you know what's so funny is that's why I knew. I said, wait a minute, I don't remember her ever drinking. And then, like you said in the book, you did mention Bailey's, but then somebody like me, honey, Bailey's is what you put in your coffee, period. I mean, Irish coffee. Right, along with some Irish whiskey, right? But
there you go.
You never really drank like that, so that's why you had always remained one of my, non-drinking friends. You had a Bailey's. I mean, girl, that's a cordial. I mean,
and I do like some champagne and Cristal now and then.
Okay, all right, okay, good, all right. Well, I'm glad you're here tonight. Now, let me ask you, what has been your response to the whole George Floyd thing? And then you've been doing a little research that there have been more stories after George.
Oh my goodness. Well, for me, seeing what happened, at first I was kind of in shock when I saw the video. I said, this can't be right. This police officer has the unmitigated gall to put his knee on this man's neck. And I just was just really, really just sad, angry, sad, experiencing a lot of emotions. But to come to find, this is just law enforcement. It just seems normal. I mean, heard recently about Manuel Rice in Tacoma, Washington. This happened in March before COVID hit. He was 33 and had the same experience as George Floyd. Kept saying he couldn't breathe. They have a video. The mayor of Tacoma, who's a sister, she's just outraged. And it just really, I think it has exacerbated enough for this whole universe, the world, to say enough is enough with this. And I think with the protests, the peaceful protest, not the other protests, the looting and the rioting, it's really shown people who they truly are. And that is giving the whole world a temperature check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I agree. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It just really, it saddened me, Art. I just couldn't, every time the news kept showing the video over and over and over. I talked about this in my nugget this afternoon about be careful what you sow. You keep seeing stuff like that, it can manifest in something totally different. You're a metaphysician just like I am. You got to be careful what you see on a continuous basis, because it'll get there down in that subconscious mind. And so I just have no words. And then with the rioting and the looting, I was drained. I had to just shut the TV off and go to bed because my whole body was like, that's it. We're done. Stick a fork. We're done.
Last Sunday, when we had all the looting and rioting here in Chicago, thank God where I live unscathed. But a block from me, all kind of chaos, pandemonium, you name it, helicopters. I was so stressed out last Sunday that it equated to the day I was told my mother was dead and was trying to get to sleep that night. You get what I'm saying? Like you wondering, Lord, is this even real? Is somebody gonna come in here while I'm asleep at night? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just, I'm with you that we're all so stressed out right now. And then those that have lost their jobs, those that are fighting to get unemployment, whatever the case may be. This is a time, you know, and I get, you know, we should all be kumbaya and loving each other and trying to, you know, be wonderful. And that's why your little messages you put out there every day. My lunch date today, Mr. Orlando Caesar. We're going to talk about him in a minute. Hold on. We're going to talk about him. But I'm more worried about things than I am like, God, it's okay. God, it's okay. How can I change that though, Karen? How can I change how I'm feeling about the way I feel?
Well, one, you know what? Don't repress it. If you're feeling what you're feeling, you've got to be able to just kind of just express it. But given the fact that we are inside, it's best that we can express it when no one's here. You know, it's best to express it internally or in our house, in our sanctuary, than go outside. When I'm mad, I get mad. I'll scream. You know me for a long time. I keep it real. I will say whatever comes to my mouth. Someone said I have a potty mouth. Well, you know, I said, and I wanted to say to them, if I was a man, would you really say that? But that's another conversation we'll have another time.
Right.
But I feel that you have to be able to express yourself, because if you don't, you will continue to internalize it. That's not good health-wise. And as I said, we'll talk about, and I'll say lead it again to CBD, because CBD helps you relax. It keeps the anxiety at a bare minimum. So that has helped me as well by taking some of my products to keep me relaxed, because it is stressful out here. This is not a do-over agent. This is real life. And you have to be able to, as I said, when you're feeling those emotions, just feel them. But be able to say, okay, I've let it go. Now it's time to reflect and then move forward. So that's what I have done. I mean, even though I was mad, I was angry, I was sad, I was able to be sad and angry in my own house. I didn't take it out on, you know, my family, my tribe. So I, you know, try to just deal it in that regard.
Right. Oh, I get very good. You did an excellent. Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I want to continue to move on. Unfortunately, we have some sad news to share. R&B singer Bonnie Pointer passed away today. A statement was issued by her sister. Which sister? Let me read this. Anita Pointer. The statement says, "It is with great sadness that I have to announce to the fans of the Pointer Sisters that my sister Bonnie died this morning," said Anita Pointer on her sister Patricia, aka Bonnie. "Our family is devastated. On behalf of my siblings and I and the entire Pointer family, we are asking for your prayers at this time." And you know, Bonnie Pointer was the one who originally started the group out. Originally, you know, the singer and that type of thing. She ended up leaving the group. I remember when Ruth Pointer wrote her memoir. The memoir was "I'm So Excited, My Life as a Pointer." She talked about how Bonnie was so driven. She needed to do something with her life. She was wild and fierce. She, you know, hung out with hippies, and she actually dated Huey Newton of the Black Panther Party, and she wrote poetry with Angela Davis. And so she was that sister. She was me. She was the so she was the one out there, and she ended up leaving the group, and then you know, the Pointer Sisters became Ruth, June, and Anita. And
Right.
they went on to huge success, but she also had her own solo career.
Right.
Bonnie Pointer is survived by a brother, Aaron, Fritz, sister Ruth, and Anita Pointer. And you know, another Pointer sister had died back in
2006. That was
yes,
June.
yes,
Right.
June. Yeah, I
Right.
know. So our
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers go out to the Pointer
Definitely.
and the Pointer family. One of my favorite songs. Let me see some of them songs that I love by the
I'm
Pointer.
so excited.
I'm so excited. I
What
can't
was the
think of.
one? Oh, with Beverly Hills Cop. Neutron Dance. I like that one.
Well, I'm gonna go back even more. I enjoyed them on the soundtrack of the movie Car Wash when they were
Yes.
Richard Pryor's background singers, and
That's
you know,
right.
right, Reverend Do Right. And so,
Hmm.
yes, I've been a huge fan of the Pointer Sisters for years
Yeah.
in their work. So, yes, our condolences go out to the Pointer.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely. It
all
just
right,
seems like a
Charlotte.
lot of people are leaving us, Art. I mean, I never thought that 2020 we would just have so many people that even to take COVID aside, but so many of our history has moved on. And it just reminds us that life is truly now for the living. You got to take it and live it because you only get one.
Who would have ever thought the death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and all
Yeah.
those people in that helicopter? Whoever would have thought coronavirus, and whoever would have thought George Floyd and how this is all turned out. And we were so jubilant about 2020, starting a new
Yeah.
chapter, clear
Yeah.
vision, all of
Yeah.
that. And what has happened to us really is a biblical proportion, Karen.
It is. You're absolutely right. But it just reminds us, though, Art, that God is still in control. He has never left. And He's reminding everyone of who He is. Period.
And that,
I mean, that's just the lesson.
and that's how
That
that
I,
works.
hmm
Mm-mm.
Absolutely.
Interesting, very interesting. All right, anything else
Mhm.
you want to add to news and hot topics before we move on to our next segment and our next subject tonight?
You heard about the lady in Wisconsin spitting on a black man. I'm gonna tell you, had it been me, you might have seen me in a different situation.
Well,
That's all I'm
darling,
gonna say on that.
please share the story with us. What happened now?
This lady in Wisconsin apparently spat on a black person, and it's of course it's videotaped, and her looks are not something to write home about, but she's been caught, and it's just again, it just makes you wonder what were you thinking? Like I think about Amy Cooper in New York. All these women and men, calling on the police on black folks doing normal work. I just don't get it. Especially now with technology, folks are gonna take a picture of your butt if you're doing something wrong. It's gonna be
Right,
posted on social media. You're gonna
right.
get a lot of likes. So, and that's what karma is. You think you're gonna do
Mhm.
something to get away with it? Karma don't work that way. She will
No, it
always come back.
right, right. Oh, it definitely comes back. So let me ask you this: you and I were joking earlier when we were behind the studio getting ready for tonight's show, and your name Karen is now one of them names, kind of like
Ooh,
people that was named Shaniqua. I ain't
I
that
talked about
Shaniqua,
that when
Becky.
I first heard that. I was like, my mother be mad as I don't know what, because I'm like, what? I can't curse. I promise you, I won't use no profanity. But
That's all
I
right.
hear
That's all right.
someone's Karening. I'm like, what the hell? What? That's my name. I take pride in that name. My mama gave me that name. Don't be
Right,
using that in a negative way. I just don't get that. I don't.
right.
I mean, Karen, the meaning of Karen is very caring, compassionate. Ain't nothing like what's happening now. So you probably set me off by that comment topic. It just
The name Karen, baby, it just has become a problem. You know what I'm saying? We that is amazing how a name that women all over the world are named
thank
Karen,
you.
but
Thank
now
you.
you don't want to be a Karen. You know what I'm saying? And that's
I'm
what's so funny.
I'm proud being Karen God dog it.
That is just a mess. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Well, anything else we want to add before we continue on with the show, my darling?
I think we've covered everything. Did you want to cover something else?
No, I was just trying to make sure, before I flip the script and we go into our next segment.
No, I think we're good. I
Are
think
you
we're good.
enjoying yourself so far?
You know I am. It's always good to connect with you. The last time we connected was on your show when I talked about my book. So it's
Yeah,
kind of nice to see in the virtual format. So
I
again, I
know. Look, this digital platform, I'm just loving it. It all it requires is a nice top, uh,
yes,
a nice background, and
yes,
make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen. Look, and do I wear my hair up or down today?
that's right.
No,
That's right.
that's right. That's right. All right. Well, K. Renee Mason, or Karen Mason, is my guest co-host tonight. She's a friend of many years. I just love and adore her. We've been around each other since the sandbox, and she's a daddy's girl. She's a girl that was just heavily involved with her family, period. And I just love people whose roots are like that when it comes to their family and, all of that. She's here with me tonight. I called her up and I said, listen, I noticed you have been looking amazing lately. You don't look stressed. You look as if you've lost weight, all of that. And so I'm like, girl, are you in love? I'm like, did you meet
You
somebody else?
I am in love, and guess who I'm in love with? Karen
Who?
Renee Mason. How about that?
Yeah,
And when I
yeah.
have to answer your question, Art, I have lost 25 and a half pounds to date. And I've done that through CBD, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yes,
Okay, well,
I
boo, it is that time for us to go into the segment. And so, not only is Karen our co-host this evening, but she is a part of a wonderful wellness program that is created by a Black woman. It's a Black-owned company, and it's all about health, wellness, and fitness, and it's all through CBD. Now, a lot of you all are like, that's the marijuana, that's the reefer, that's that's the icky sticky. Honey, I don't do all of that. Well, here we go. Karen will be the second guest we've had on this show of women who, again, a goody two shoe, a woman that, probably maybe took an aspirin or a Tylenol, but never anything potent or powerful. And Takana Young, Chef Takana, when she was on, we talking about this woman, a pastor, all of that. And her testimony was, I'm sure, what your testimony is getting ready to be about as well, too. Karen, I'm going to give you the floor. Start off with the story, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, and Art mentioned, I've been using CBD for the past year, and I'm part with a company called Wakana. It's based here in Chicago by 4 beautiful African American women, co-founders here. And basically our products are organically, they're natural, and a lot of people, they have the misconception about what CBD. And let's just talk about what CBD stands for. And it stands for cannabidiol. Now, you say that fast 10 times. I didn't even know what CBD was. I mean, given, as Art has told you, I'm very straight laced. I have a business background, and especially in compliance. So I'm thinking, I'm not trying this. This is not something that I want to do. But in learning about what CBD is, it's a natural plant, cannabis plant, but it has some wonderful benefits. If you're experiencing anxiety, stress, and I know all of us are with COVID-19, and then other things that are happening in our world, it definitely it relieves that stress, and any pain that you're experiencing, it definitely helps that. And as I mentioned, I do have several stories to tell regarding CBD, but one importantly, Art knows this. I had knee replacement surgery 2 years ago on my left knee. And I mean, it was at the point before I even had it, I was in excruciating pain. And even though I had the surgery, I was doing well with recovery. We live in Chicago, and we have 5 seasons, not including winter, but also construction. But because we're in a colder climate, anytime if you have any type of aluminum in your body, it will tend to get stiff. And so I was still experiencing pain. And then discovering CBD with one of my dearest friends, who's also on the corporate team of Wakana. She said, Karen, you really need to try this product. It's definitely going to help you alleviate your pain. And then trying, I mean, not only we just have our products come in various types, not only in a tincture format of which you take it and you turn it, but we have towels where you can apply it in your body if you're experiencing pain. We have seasonings. You know, as I like to cook, you know, especially my pies. You can infuse your experience with CBD. Didn't know that, did you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fully aware of
Yeah,
the multitude of things that you can do with CBD. Yes, absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But the health benefits,
your take.
but a lot of people get confused with CBD versus medical marijuana. As you know, medical marijuana has THC, and that's the component that gets you high. CBD does not get you high. It has more of the health benefits. Now, granted, I mean, that's one of the pros that it definitely it works. It does take time depending upon a person's body composition, but and it can get expensive. That's one of the cons. A lot of people say that CBD is very expensive, but it's definitely worth it because it comes from the ground. And not all CBD is made equal. You don't go to Mookie's gas station to get CBD. Think you're going to get the quality products. So whatever products that you decide to purchase CBD, always ask for a COA. This is near and dear to my heart as a compliance person, certificate of analysis. And that is usually done by a third party that will tell you every product that you order. It will give you a list of all the ingredients, period.
So now,
you can always ask for that.
So if I'm at the mall and there's a kiosk at the mall and they're selling product,
CBD?
I'm ask them for what now? Ask them to show me
it's called a COA, certificate of analysis. And they should be able to provide it for you. And if they cannot provide it for you, then that should tell you it may not be true CBD.
Well, how I know they didn't go to Kinko's that morning and just run off some meth and hand it to me?
It should.
Because when that's just like buying a dime bag from somebody on the corner that you don't know. It could be marijuana, it could be oregano.
Most reputable CBD companies will have their own certificate of analysis where they can provide to you. Well, kind of our company does have that as well. So, but I and it's so funny when you say that because I've seen CBD in malls, gas stations, everywhere, and I'm like, they can be misleading to the public. And that's where some of the misconceptions about CBD, but it's definitely for benefits for anxiety, for depression. If you experience inflammation, it's good for your libido. And I know for some of us, if we want to enhance that experience, you can use that with CBD as well. So I'm definitely a proponent of CBD, and it helps maintain your appetite. And that's CBD was instrumental in helping me lose weight. So you just have to do. I will always recommend anyone do their research, and that's the one thing I will say. Always do your research when you're wanting to know more about CBD. And unfortunately, there are some people that cannot take CBD due to their condition. And if you're planning on taking CBD, I would always strongly recommend you see your physician. Just don't go taking CBD arbitrarily. If you have a health challenge, you need to just speak with your physician to making sure that you're starting a CBD regimen.
Okay, very good. All right. So now, what are some of the cons or some of the things that people might really frown upon when it comes to CBD?
Well, the one main con is expensive. A lot of people don't want to pay for it, but if you want to be healthy, sometimes they say you get what you pay for.
Right.
That's one. And then two, people want this magic pill. There's nothing a magic pill about anything. It depends upon your body composition that, with some people it may work immediately, others it does take time. And then,
Mhm.
as I said, unfortunately, it's not highly regulated yet, even though it's a huge, I think the last count I heard was a $22 billion industry, and it's going to just increase over time. It's not regulated yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be.
Mhm.
And as I said, all CBD is not created equal. You really must do your due diligence in making sure that you're having the quality and organic. That's key.
Hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Let me bring everybody into the fold. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show, coming to you live via Facebook and YouTube. All you have to do is go to the Real Chat Daddy Show page. Ask that you like the page, start a watch party, share it with your friends and family. Tonight, we have a lot coming up on the show. At the top of the 8 o'clock hour, we'll welcome to the show Mr. Maurice Green, President and CEO of Pillar Insurance LLC, based here in Chicago. And Maurice will be here tonight to talk to us about all the looting and rioting that went on in Chicago and across the country. For a lot of small business owners, there may not be any recovery. You think that you may have an insurance policy and you be like, yeah, I got it. It cover everything. Honey, I don't know if looting and rioting is in your insurance policy. And that's something that you might have to look into. And he'll talk about all of that tonight, what you can and cannot do, how it all looks. And, that's what we have the experts on this show for. Coming up tomorrow at 12 noon, I ask that you guys please join me for
Yeah.
lunch. As you guys all know, every day, Monday through Friday from 12, and they're now going to 1 o'clock. It's only an hour you can do on Instagram Live. I sit down for lunch, a virtual lunch. Each guest must bring or have whatever is their lunch or meal or imaginary meal. They can even describe whatever it is to me. And we sit down and talk about soul food. It starts off with the conversation of what was your first introduction to soul food? Was it your grandmother? Was it
Mm.
your aunt? Who was it? Kay Renee, we had a guest on Friday,
Yes. Oh,
Mr.
wow. Okay.
Leon Walker. He was our
Oh,
Thursday night relationship guest, but he was my Friday lunchtime guest. And
okay.
he said that his mother took him into the grandmother's kitchen to give him a taste of greens. And the grandmother came in the kitchen and slapped the mama for going in her pot while it was cooking. So he says, as much as he loves greens, he remembers that abuse then, because he
Oh,
had been abused as a child, and
oh
oh,
no.
it was a beautiful conversation.
I
And
bet.
then today, my guest, you saw my guest,
Yes.
the incomparable Mr. Orlando
Oh my
Caesar,
goodness.
businessman, book author, publisher, go-to guy. And Karen, that's so funny. You said to me, you said, Art, he needs to be your mentor. And I was
Yes.
like, listen, that man is my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Orlando Caesar. He's just such a good
Mhm.
man. He's always inspiring and motivating people. What did you think of my interview with him today?
You know what I loved his humility. He was so humble. And it was interesting in talking, we talked about his career being the first. I know about being first because in my career, literally my first job worked, and I can say the bank because it's no longer in existence, at Commercial National Bank of Berwyn. I was the first African American and first African American female they had hired in the history of the bank. And when he shared his stories, he shared it with humor, which, to me, that will always uh, will tell the story.
Yes.
But that's what struck me more than anything, Art. He was just so humble and just you could just he was like a griot,
Yeah.
where you could just sop up all the knowledge that he brought to the table. I truly enjoyed Mr. Caesar. I really did. And yes, you should be your mentor. I'll
Yeah,
still
well,
say that.
he is. He's a dear friend. I just, You know, I oftentimes when you think of mentors, you and I were talking about that earlier, and we're going to get back to our conversation. A lot of times you have to do a lot of hoops for mentors. But when you sit down and become friends with somebody and can talk about any and everything and they get it, then I guess that makes them a mentor. Orlando Caesar is one of those people. Dr. Ansel Johnson is another one of those people. These are men.
I remember him.
Yes, these are men that I just met out the blue. And these men have gone above and beyond just to be great to me and just be there for me, that I just appreciate them. So maybe, you know, like you said, you look at it more as a mentor. As a Black man, I just look at it as having solid Black male friends. And I have many male friends like that. But those two gentlemen were strangers to me. And now I consider them good friends.
That's wonderful. No, I truly enjoyed his chat. I loved how he intertwined words, you know, for different meaning. I said, you know, he's a man after my own heart. So I'm so glad I had a chance to check out your date virtually this afternoon.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Well, coming up tomorrow for lunch, Chicago to LA to Atlanta. She served as co-host one day. She is Susan Reed. She works for Tyler Perry Studios, but she also is a Christian filmmaker. That's how she originally got her start, by making Christian films. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about the life and times of Susan Reed and what inspires her and going to work for Tyler Perry and just all of that. So make sure you join me tomorrow at 12 noon.
I will. I'm sure there's a backstory on that too.
Oh yeah, 12 noon Central Time. On Instagram, I am at ChatDaddy1. At ChatDaddy1 on Instagram.
I've already plugged you in. We're good.
Oh, I love it, darling. I do. So I want to get back to this CBD product. So now CBD comes in creams, lotions, how seasonings. I mean, really? So how many? Let me count the ways I can get my CBD. Go right ahead.
You can get it through a tincture, edibles. As I said, we are at Wakanda. We have a body cream where I actually use the body cream daily to use as a foundation for my makeup. You know, one of the biggest organs we have is the skin. Yes. So
baby, that's why that skin's so tight. Baby, that skin looks good. That's right. Honey, that skin is like, look, baby, I feel good.
We're there, right?
Right, yeah.
So I use it. I mean, we have it in tincture, the cream, as I mentioned. We have essential oils that we provide. We have it in a tea. Let's see what else we have. We have a cooking oil that you can cook with. We have a product where I use it for my pies when I want to infuse my sweet potato pies with CBD. Trying to think what else. We have so many products. It's like, as I mentioned too, for the risque and the adventurous one, we have a CBD lube. Now, how about that?
Really?
Yeah.
And is that universal? Is it compatible for both people? Is it compatible? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and that's all I'm gonna say on that subject.
Let me just say this. I'll be doing a curbside pickup for a sweet potato pie and some personal oil.
Okay. I got you.
A sweet potato pie and some personal oil, girl. That's what I'll be by for. I will. See, because I just didn't know you could utilize CBD oil in just so many ways like that.
And not only that, we have it the pre-roll, or as other people call it, the CBD joint. But it's all about CBD. Yes.
Okay.
And that gives you immediate relief. Now that's something you would probably wonder, Karen does what? Yeah, I've used my CBD pre-roll. Yes, right. Yes, I have.
So honey, look. This is how you know times have changed. Look, look what one of my audience members said. I'm clutching my pearl. Right. This is how you know times have changed. This is my friend, you all, who she considers drinking Bailey's drinking. She might have some champagne every now and then, but I guarantee she ain't getting ready to sit up and drink the whole bottle. Not in one sitting. If
No.
she does, she going through something. And
That's right.
now
That's right.
this woman is now telling me it's okay to do CBD. I got to get ready for all of this because
Right.
again, my goody two shoe girlfriends are now talking about CBD. Oh my God!
Now remember, I am the queen of acronyms, so you know the CBD even stands for cannabidiol, so you know that other acronym that you know me for. So let's we won't talk about that, but
Right.
for those who know me, they know what I'm talking about.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm glad it's all working out, and then I'm really proud to know it's a Black-owned female company.
Yes.
It's based right out of Chicago.
Actually, our corporate offices are in Bronzeville, so you know you can definitely right in the Seaway Bank National Bank building. So 4 women who are native. I think all of them are native to Chicago. No, one is not. Our CEO, Melissa Boston, our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Rita McGuire, our Senior Vice President of Sales, Phyllis Nash, and our President, Senator, I said that right. Let me say it again. Senator, because she's a state senator, Patricia Van Pelt. They make up they make up the corporate team of Wakana. So yes, it was important. That was another reason too, Art. Well, I really like this company because it's Black owned and it's owned by sisters, which I like, and the products really speak for themselves. You know, I will share this with you, Art, that I have a 96-year young great aunt who lives in Birmingham, and she is an avid gardener, but she hurt her shoulder the early part of 2020, and she was sharing that with me, and I said, let me send her some topical cream. And I spoke with her over the weekend. She was like, Renee, thank you so much for sending that to me. It definitely helped. So, you know, for me, I want to be able to not only educate people about CBD, but also hopefully can make our community, if they're experiencing pain, if they're experiencing anxiety, help them, because we need all the help we can get in dealing with these new set of circumstances we call COVID-19.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. I really could not agree. You know, we're living in very stressful and trying times. The reason why I created this show is I had lost my presence in one platform, and I was encouraged to continue to keep this presence because people do love my satire, you know, me keeping them updated. I love every one of my guest co-hosts I've had. All of my guests have been absolutely amazing. And this is all about continuing to build the community, continuing to love, nurture on each other. And that's why we try to share as much information as possible on this show. And it doesn't cost anything. It's all about just keeping people informed. The one thing, I've had a couple of people hit me up and say that last product, my sweet potato pie and that other oil, they like, really? They like, wow. So look, I might have to do a testimony on that. So yes, let me know. Look, we'll talk offline.
We will talk, but always remember, all right, and this goes to you. Your comeback is always stronger than your setback. Never forget that.
I believe that always. I really do. All right. What else do you want these people to know? And then tell them how they can connect with these amazing products.
Well, they can always go to my site, just destinedforexcellence.wakana.com. And you can, and we have a Father's Day.
And they said, wait a minute, baby, I need to be able to write that down and spell that. I need to go get me a pencil and paper. Right. So now let's wait. Let's give them a minute, Karen. Give them a minute. Hold on. All right. So y'all go pen and paper.
You just mentioned it was absolutely moisturizer. It is excellent as a moisturizer. Yes,
Miss Eden. You're kidding me? Really?
Yes, it's a wonderful skin moisturizer. Look at my skin right here.
Your skin
right there.
You got look, Karen. You do. Your face is tight, baby. You look good. You really.
Thank you.
Boy, you gonna have me rubbing with a lot of stuff soon, right? You gonna have me rubbing with a lot of stuff. So give them the website and spell it for them. Give them the website and spell it for them. Go ahead.
Okay. It is. I will say it first and I'll spell it slowly. So it's destinedforexcellence.wakana.com. So that's destined, DES, TINED, the number 4, excellence, EXCELLENCE dot Wakana, WAKANNA.com.
Very good. I am actually happy about that. Yes. Okay.
And don't
So
worry, all right, we're gonna make sure you get that oil in that sweet potato pie. Because actually I'll be baking my sweet potato pies this coming weekend because I have some orders for Father's Day. So I'll make sure I got one just for you.
all righty, baby. I'm gonna be eating it in slivers. I'm gonna just do little tiny pieces of it. Little tiny pieces of it. That's all I'm gonna do. Because I know that pie is gonna be, as grandma would say, delicious. I know it's gonna
That-
be it's gonna be delicious. So what else have you been doing to just occupy your time and to keep, how has this COVID been treating you? Like, have you been sheltering in place and
I
you
have
know,
I have no choice because I think I mentioned to you in April, and I talked about this in my nuggets this afternoon about be careful what you sow. I was in a car accident in April. My car was completely totaled. Lady broadside, I mean, literally broadsided me. And I'm just thankful to God. I will say this, that He truly, I know He has a purpose for me, because I'm going to tell you, if it had not been for the side and front airbags deploying and my seatbelt came loose, I would have gone through the windshield. I would have died. I know that. Between God and my parents, they're like, she ain't ready. It ain't her time yet. We going and I walked away from the accident, even though I say to people I was severely bruised, but I wasn't broken. But all that to say, everything, as you know, everything in your life happens for a reason. And as I said earlier in the program, what is happening now, um, it's happening for a reason. And so for me to shelter in place, an only child, I like my solitude. My career as an auditor and compliance person, I traveled, as you know, all over the country.
all
So
over?
for me to just sit down now and rest and just really say, okay, what does Kay Renee want to be when she grow up? Does she want to still stay in corporate? Does she want to pivot and really do writing? Which as I said, I love writing. I never thought that I would like writing. And it's very cathartic for me. But at the same time, it helps other people live their best life. And that's what Karen's Nuggets is all about. It's just snippets of keeping it real, authentic, common sense phrases that help and things, experiences that will help you keep real and to live your best life. So
Mm.
I've just been just kind of thinking and think, okay, where does Karen want to be? Where does she want to do her next chapter? Because my chapter is still unfolding.
What time do you do the nuggets every day? Don't you? Because I know when I get up every morning, you've kind of put them out already. What time do
I
you do
usually between 7 and 10. And then,
them?
as you know, we have what I literally, it was like Spirit had spoke to me, and it was in April, to say, because we are both DI, Daily Inspiration readers, as you know, from our church, Johnny Coleman, Christ Universal Temple.
Yes.
Um, and I just, because I've been reading them for many years. And what you don't know, are one of the writers is family, Reverend Herbert Lassiter. He's my
Oh,
cousin.
oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
So I can see why. I said, now I know why the writing is there,
Yeah.
because he's a wonderful prolific writer.
Right.
And and reading them, there's some topics that are so relevant to what's going on now. So I started to include in doing lives in the afternoon based upon the day's top DI topics. So in doing that, and then also doing my nuggets in the morning on a monthly basis, I will blog on my experiences. And it's just been for me, and it's always funny, when I feel like, okay, is anyone listening to me? Am I getting something? I'll get a text message, or I'll get an email saying, Karen, thank you so much. How did you know I was going through this
Right.
exact experience? And so
Yeah.
that's just God's way of telling me, I got stuff for you to do. You just need to keep having faith.
All right, baby. Well, I love it. You do a great job of motivating and inspiring people every day. And that's
Thank
one of the
you.
reasons why I wanted to have you here with us tonight, because I believe we live in a world now where, people need to hear words of wisdom, words of
Mhm.
peace and comfort on a daily basis. And so thank you so much for that
Oh,
part.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
So I want to remind everybody to please join me for the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Coming up tomorrow night, we're celebrating my girl Fateria's birthday. Remember, she was a co-host about a month ago, and she told us that her birthday was June 10th. And so I told her, I said, June 9th, we're going to give you a birthday party on the air.
Wow, that's nice.
Well, let me tell you what's so funny. The last time she was the co-host, honey, she was the whole show. At the end, she turned into somebody, Harlan Devereaux, and did karaoke for us. Oh, yeah. Oh, she entertained us to no end. So tomorrow is her Gemini birthday party on this show. And I already said Gemini. So you already know what we in store for. We in store for several personalities, several people, all of that. So I called her today like, honey, your show tomorrow night. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. All right, don't forget to join me tomorrow on Instagram at 12 noon for Soul Food with Chat Daddy. I sit down for one-on-one interviews with some of the most fascinating people over a virtual lunch, and we talk about life. And that's what we do. My very special guest co-host tonight is my friend since way back when. She looks amazing. I just love her. She's Kay Renee Mason, or Karen Mason, Karen Renee, whatever it is. She's Kay Renee, y'all. That's who I want her to be. She's a superstar. That's what I think of.
Well, I have another name.
Oh boy, is she legal? Is she legal? Right. Can we talk about her? Right.
It's Raquel. Let's not forget Raquel Logan Summers, right?
Yes.
Honey, that's the alter ego.
Yeah, we have to have that. Maybe she can do a late night show with me one night.
I'll call Raquel up and say, let's do it.
I'll call her and tell her we need to do a late night show. We got it.
I'll call her up.
Good. Are you enjoying yourself with me tonight?
I am, sweetie. Thank you so much for having me. It's just, it's just like old times.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like old times.
I love it, darling. Well, our next guest is a gentleman who I really do appreciate. Not only is he a good friend, he's a great businessman. He believes in the progression of Black businesses and Black people. He's a native Chicagoan. He has really a great story to share. Last week, my friend took to social media to talk to people that were small business owners, mom and pop shops, you name it, from restaurants to boutiques to salons, whatever. He gave the lowdown on Facebook, like, listen, all this looting and rioting, your insurance may not necessarily cover all of this. And I felt as if the message that he shared was beautiful, because very seldom do we talk to people that give us so much knowledge and insight. And he wasn't doing this to try to grab business as much as he was trying to soothe the people who have been just disrupted by all of the looting and chaos that happened. And so I'm honored to welcome him tonight. He is the president and CEO of Pillar Insurance Services, LLC, based in Bronzeville. He is a gentleman who has been in the insurance industry forever. Karen, help me welcome to the show my good friend, Mr. Maurice Green.
Hey, Maurice, welcome.
All right, thank you, friend, for the nice words. Hopefully you guys can hear me.
We can hear you very well. Can you hear us?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Absolutely. So, Maurice, last week, I could see the anguish and pain in your face. Not only are you a successful businessman, but you also are a Black man that's just very worried and concerned. You are very pro-Black business. You are always encouraging the small businessman. But Maurice, last week, you told the truth. A lot of these people may not be able to come back. Introduce yourself, tell us about your business, and then let's talk about what you said last week.
Okay. Yeah. Again, Maurice Green, President, CEO, Pillar Insurance Services, full-service insurance agency located in Bronzeville, 4504 South Cottage Grove.
Okay, and so Maurice, let's talk about what you were telling people last week. They necessarily tell us what is the forecast for the small business owner that may not have had insurance that covers looting and riot?
Right, because a lot of business owners, they'll be renting a spot out, like you said, a restaurant or any type of business, and they just get general liability coverage. General liability, that's it. And they did not protecting their property, their assets, the things they own, such as computers, or if it's a restaurant, the fryers or televisions, they stock their inventory. Or sometimes too, they'll get take the cheap way out, so to speak, and get a named peril policy. And what that means is it will only cover just a fire. That's it. That's a named peril policy. It just specifically covered that if that's what they had selected.
Okay, so now Maurice, Karen and I gonna ask you some questions. When a person has basic liability insurance, is that enough for them to open up? And I guess the liability is if I came in there and slipped on an olive and fell, or if a knife cut me real bad or something. What is the definition for a business owner of just liability insurance?
Exactly. What it just states, liability. And normally when people get that, because if they renting a space out, their landlord or the property manager is requiring them to have that, so they are protected. So they'll be named on the policy as an additional insured. That way they do not get sued.
Okay, very good. Karen, you have a question for him too?
No, so is there like a blanket coverage for, do you have in your clause of a policy regarding looting? Is there specifically a clause that says if, due to looting or rioting, you're covered, or?
You'll find that on some named peril policies.
Okay.
And normally you find that with, like I said, strictly just covering fire. That's it. And all that stuff like looting, rioting, civil unrest, that'll be excluded from the policy because it's just going to cover just fire.
Wow.
And that's what I said. And that's what I said. A lot of these people really do need to understand this. Maurice, I know you are very close because you sit on a lot of boards. And, again, you're a very huge supporter of your fellow Black business owners. What's been the word on the streets? How have these people been coping with this situation? And this is just your personal take, not as the insurance man, but just how have your friends, fellow business friends, been able to adjust to this entire situation?
It's heartbreaking. We all going through a difficult time. I hear the stories, like a lot of people did not get the PPP money or any grants for that matter. And it's just been very rough, very hard. A lot of folks think about different professions, going back as a staff employee for a company, and it's just been very difficult.
Wow. Okay, Renee?
I just have no words because, you think when you purchase insurance that you're going to be covered for situations like this. And I guess they say it's not, you have to read that fine print at the end of the day.
Yeah, you have to be selective in what type of policy you want. And I know starting a business is very trying, and funds are tight and everything like that. I understand that, but you have to make sure you're covering yourself, and this is your baby, so you want to make sure you protect it. So just getting a bare minimum, it's not always a good. It's not good.
Right.
It's almost like cutting corners, huh?
Exactly, because you just get what your landlord required you, or you just getting liability, but you're not protecting your products. Your products, your business, anything can happen because outside of the looting part as well, just like Lightfoot, she's opening up the mirror, she's opening up the business back up, business income loss. That's another thing that's a part of that as well. The insurance companies, if you had the right policy in place, they will compensate you for that loss of income.
Wow. Oh, wow. And Maurice, let me ask you this. Is this typical of just small mom and pop businesses, minority owned businesses, or is this something that maybe some of these more high end, we're not talking about the chain stores or any of that, but the more eclectic boutiques that's been around forever, would they still be in that situation as well too? Maybe not properly insured?
You know what? The chain stores, a lot of them, like your big box stores, they self-insured on a lot of that stuff. Like Jewels, they self-insured. Target, they self-insured. And I know this outside of me owning an insurance agency, I'm also a consultant for insurance companies for catastrophes. And when I worked at CNA, like Ruth Chris, that was one of my clients. They self-insured. So the mom and pops stores, they sometimes take the not the, I ain't gonna say the cheap way out, or we just don't think nothing's going to happen.
Right.
You know what? We really didn't think this was going to happen. This is what we've been talking about on this show before you chimed in, Maurice. Like, look, did nobody in a million years think that this would have been to this magnitude? I was riding around this evening before I started preparing for this show, and I rode, over to the Jewels at 95th and Stony, and came up Stony, went down Cottage just to see the magnitude of damage that happened. And this is really, Maurice, you've been in the business for years. This is not normal. You've seen a lot of catastrophes, but to see blocks and blocks and blocks of this disaster, is that common after something like this?
You know what? And that's what insurance is for. It's for the unforeseen. And a lot of people, don't want to pay for it because it's not something tangible. It's not something that they have in their hand or anything like that. So, no, I ain't gonna pay for it, and they just kick it to the side. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I ain't giving the insurance company my money, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people think like that. And we are the neediest ones in some cases because we don't plan for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Karen, anything to add to that with it?
No, I mean, I thoroughly agree with what Maurice is saying, because we don't think, and when we do think, it's too late. You always have to think ahead, and when you don't do that, I mean, as you said, Art, who would have thought we would have been going through this right now?
Right.
But it's like you, because I live in Chatham, and driving on Cottage, driving on 87, and seeing the damage, I said, I really feel for the small business owner, because I don't think some think about the true magnitude of what can happen. And like Maurice had indicated, that you're not thinking being cheap, but you're just trying to cut corners. And sometimes it's not the best. That's not the best move.
No. Well, Maurice, I was talking to a few people, and even one of the news anchors said that for some of the businesses, it could take 7 to 8 months just to get back. What's the process if a person is insured and they would be covered? How long do you think it would take for the average business to get back up and running? Of course, stores like Jewels and Walgreens, as you said, they have the resources and means. But let's look at a boutique that you've got to order the product, get it over here. Things are still on embargo right now. How long do you think for an insured person it would take them to get back?
Normally, like I said, I used to do consulting work for catastrophes, and this is a catastrophe in my eyes. We had to make first contact within 48 hours. So that's up to the Illinois Department of Insurance if they go mandate that these insurance companies reach out to their policyholders to see if they were affected by it and make first contact. It should take 48 hours. Make that first contact.
Okay. All right. Then that makes good sense. What are Karen, you want to add something to it, or you have something to comment on?
Maurice, when you make first contact, is a process, like similarly to when you get an auto accident, will an adjuster come out to the assessment? Is that how that works?
Exactly. When you make first contact, you introducing yourself to the insured, getting statements of the facts, find out what the damages are, and go over coverages with them just as well, and explain the policy and the process.
Okay.
Very good. Okay. So I guess it could take about 7 or 8 months to really get back. No, shorter time than that.
And this is the unfortunate part about this whole situation. Because we're in COVID, and the business been closed down already. So a person has a standard policy where business interruption loss is covered. They've been closed already. So it's going to be very challenging to determine like how much they lost because they've been closed. We've been closed.
Right.
So the damages, like to the televisions that was stolen or any merchandise or things of that nature, they can take care of that. But now they got the green light to open. They can't open, and once they try to file that claim, well, you was closed already. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a different climate right now. So it's going to be very challenging for the insurance adjusters.
Interesting.
Maurice, I have a question. Like for businesses that are closed because of the pandemic, are they covered? Is that a separate coverage than whether or not people have looted and rioted their business? Is that separate?
That's separate. That's totally different.
Okay.
That's totally different.
Okay.
So that would be like a loss of income insurance.
What do you mean by that? You elaborate on that for me?
Like with, the pandemic happening and people being closed for 10, 12 weeks, what would that type of insurance be called? Like, is that a loss of income insurance or?
Exactly. Business income loss. You're absolutely correct. And I was told it was only one company, business for that matter, had that type of policy, Lloyd's of London, and it was the U.S. Tennis. They was the only one that had insurance for COVID listed on their policy.
You are lying to me, and this was something they already had. Because you know how slick folks can be now, almost like that man that worked for number 45 and got rid of all of his stocks before. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm like, how the hell, huh?
Right. Because here's the thing: if insurance companies had to pay out on those business income loss, that would cripple the insurance industry. That would have crippled them.
Oh, I believe that. I really, really do. Maurice, we see that commercial all the time for another insurance company that says, we insure that, and we insure that, and we insure that too. How many different type of policies or type of insurance what all can you get insured? I know like Lloyd's of London, you can insure body limbs, like Tina Turner's legs are insured, but like what is the wildest thing you ever heard somebody insure, or how many policies are out there in the world?
It's so many different types of policies, as you mentioned. It's so many different type of policies, so many insurance carriers out there as well, and you can insure up a lot of things. I haven't ran across anything while came across my desk to insure. I did the typical stuff: home, auto, business policy. The most elaborate, so to speak, that I've done was a helicopter.
Really? Insure somebody's helicopter?
Wait, it's a shame you didn't insure Kobe Bryant's helicopter. How about that?
Right. Oh my God. Well, I knew somebody that tried to get her husband's member insured, but I had to quickly tell her that eventually it's gonna wane. And I don't know if them people would pay off on that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Okay, as we get older, I don't know what them dividends gonna be on that. You better enjoy it while it's at, you feel like you should insure it. But I was like, no, trust and believe. He get older, that thing will lose value. So I don't know. So I haven't thought about that.
If it has CBD though, all right, you never know.
Right. I told you, I want a CBD pie and I want some of that CBD lube. That's all I want. I know that sounds crazy. It really does. Maurice, what advice would you want to give to people about purchasing insurance? You're always talking to our people about the importance of life insurance, the importance of health insurance. Help dispel at least 3 rumors of why we should not invest in insurance in ourselves. I know it's 3 things you always preach to people about the importance of insurance.
You know what? That is a myth. You probably heard this before. I'm not leaving all this money to nobody, this and that. This is how you can help build generational wealth. The truth is we all go die. And that way it could be easier for your kids or family loved ones to, if they want to start a business, the life insurance policy can assist them in doing that, or pay for college tuition, things of that nature. And to protect yourself, these are your assets. These are things that you worked hard for. And this is for you and your family. Why you would not want to make sure these things are properly covered?
I agree. I really do. I think that is absolutely right. You agree, Karen?
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that I think that as a community, parents need to teach their children this, because when you get a certain age and you don't have the insurance, that's a burden. And we talked about me being an only child. Thankfully, that when my parents left, they had insurance, because had they not, it'd have been we had a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, and it's sad to me. You get to the funeral and they got to pass around the hat and start a GoFundMe. Hey, GoFundMes were not created to pay for funerals. They were not. GoFundMes were created for medical situations. A family been burned out or something like that, and people will throw a GoFundMe up to bury somebody in less than 10 minutes after their death.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. And if you start the policy off early when your child is first born, and it costs nothing. It costs nothing. And I know life happens to all of us. I didn't have a lot of money. I'm born and raised in Robert Taylor Homes. My mother, she didn't have much, but she made sure she had life insurance and paid those things because you had to. You have to find
making it easier to launch campaigns and measure results.
So that makes good sense. It really does. Is to have that life insurance and keep
Absolutely.
it. Well, Maurice, you've done an outstanding job this evening. Do me a favor. Now it's time for that little shameless plug that I always let people do whenever we have these experts on, because we need to know. Because I really do. Like I said, driving around today. 87th Street, Cottage Grove, Stony Island, 95th Street. Wow, dude. Every other place, it was almost like they said eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and busted out the window and looted. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Because it made you say, now I wonder why they didn't hit that place. Or I wonder if somebody said, no, that's my grandmama's place. Or you know what I'm saying? Just the randomness of how things were tore up all over the South Side is just mind-boggling to me. All right, Maurice, go ahead and give your plug on how people can connect with you and all that great stuff. A proud Black business owner.
Thank you, and it was nice meeting you, Karen. I really, truly, truly appreciate it. If you guys would like to get a quote or have any questions about insurance, you can reach me at 773-288-3200 or on our website, pillarinsuranceservices.com.
Very good. All right, my friend. Well, we appreciate you so much. You've done a great job for us tonight. And, it's so funny, Maurice, I asked you you did that video, last Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, about a week ago.
Yes. And I asked you immediately. I said, we got to do my show next Monday night. I noticed that one of the local news stations here, they doing the same story tonight too. So I was like, yeah, Chat Daddy a trendsetter. Chat Daddy a trendsetter, baby.
That's right.
I didn't copy off of them. Right. I didn't copy off of them. I had already
copied off of you.
That's right. Because I wanted to know, look, is my favorite chitlin shop coming back after this? Right. Chitlins are us and I be coming back. Chitlins are us, honey. They yes, they're a chitterling emporium. They have chitterlings of all types at the Chitterling Emporium, and them they looted the Chitterling Emporium, child.
Oh my goodness!
So,
What was you gonna say? Oh my goodness!
Yes. What were you gonna say?
No, I said, wow. I was just laughing at you.
Yes, the Chitterling Emporium, honey. They may not be able to come back because Big Mama and them, they took all the chitterlings and all the hog maws and, took all the buckets and everything. All of that. So I don't know if the Tickling Emporium will be back, but I will keep you all posted on whether or
Please
not
do.
it's back. All right. Well, thank you to our special guest, Mr. Maurice Green, the president and CEO of
Yay.
Thank you for having me. I really
LLC.
appreciate you guys.
Oh, a pleasure. He's located in Bronzeville, Illinois. Bronzeville in Chicago, in Illinois. Maurice, give the website one more time, please.
PillarInsuranceServices.com.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Maurice again.
Yay.
We love you so very much.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you so much.
My pleasure. We got to do some safe distancing soon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, come back to the Cigar Lounge.
I got you. All right. We'll see you soon, my friend. Thank you so much.
Bye, Maurice.
All right. Nice to meet you too, Karen.
All
Nice
right.
meeting
Bye-bye.
you.
Good night. All right. Yay. We did it.
Yay.
He did a good job, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, it was so informative, and I had no idea that only one Lords of London, but that would make sense because, and he had a good point. If everybody got that specific clause, the insurance company would be out of business. So,
Isn't that something though? Isn't that is amazing to me? And when you really think about it, you can insure a lot of things. I'm telling you, my friend was trying to insure her husband's number, and I said, "Well, now wait a minute now." That member gonna die eventually. Right.
I did thank the Lord. I never insured my ex-husband's. It'd been deflated long time, but we won't go there.
I can always push this past 8:30 now. I can always come back after 10 for the late night show.
Ladies and gents, see, Art knew my ex-husband too, so.
I did. Yes, I did. Absolutely. All right, let it go. As they say in Frozen, let it go. Ooh, let it go. Oh my God. Woosah, baby. Woosah. Do me a favor, Karen. Give the people the websites one more time, and then
Sure.
can you leave us with a delicious little nugget tonight to close out the show?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you can reach me at Karen's Nuggets Instagram, Karen's_Nuggets. You can reach me on my Facebook page at Karen'sNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. That is also my website address. If you want to know about how I bake my world famous sweet potato pies, you can send an email to allpotatosweet at yahoo.com. You can also visit my Facebook page at All Potatoes Sweet as well. And then for CBD, again, the website is destined for the number 4 excellence.wakana.com. And I will leave all of you with this nugget, and this is my original nugget. Let your greatness within you be contagious to others.
Oh,
that's by yours truly.
I love that. I really do. Let your greatness,
within you be contagious to others.
I love it. I think that now more than ever, we've got to figure out ways of how to uplift each other, how to, just be there as a support and a guidance. And, I just think it's great. I tell people now more than ever, pay attention to how people are treating each other.
Yes. That is so indicative, because if they can't treat you well now, when you become the best of who you are, the best version, you don't need them then. It will be indicative how people treat you during this time.
Right.
And so, I agree.
Yes, I agree a lot. That's the way it needs to be. Well, we're just about at the end of another great show. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself this evening. We talked about a lot of things. Boy, from, the death of George Floyd, which happened on Memorial Day. We never knew of a George Floyd until Memorial Day.
Right.
We also talked about the pros and cons of CBD tonight. And what does CBD stand for again, Karen?
Cannabidiol. Say that fast. Cannabidiol. Cannabidiol.
Baby. Yes, that's how we do that. We also want to thank the president and CEO of Pillar Insurance, Mr. Maurice Green. He did an outstanding job tonight.
Yes, he did.
insurance business for many years. And he was just here to talk about the reality of it all, that a lot of your favorite little boutiques, beauty barber salons, places like that, not necessarily be coming back, because who saw looting, rioting, and a global pandemic and all of this? Who saw it? No, nobody. I don't even think a fortune teller has even predicted something like that.
There is one source, and that's God saw this. And how about that? He knows what's going on because he's always in control.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. So I'm with you on that one. That's why I'm living a much quieter life now, reflecting and doing some other things. All right. Well, on behalf of my amazing co-host tonight, Kay Renee, Miss Karen Mason, author, businesswoman. Now she's in the CBD business. She's a wonderful baker. Her culinary skills are just incredible, and she looks amazing. So that's all I can say about her. Give your website one more time, my darling.
destinedforexcellence.wakana.com and Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge.com.
Yes, very good. All right. Well, on behalf of Karen, our guest tonight, the one and only Mr. Maurice Green of Pillar Insurance, we've come to the end of yet another wonderful show. Don't forget, tomorrow at 12 noon on Instagram Live, I'll be interviewing Susan Reed, a filmmaker who works for the Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. Also, coming up on tomorrow night's show, we're having a birthday party. My girl Thyteria Towns is celebrating her Gemini birthday, and she's my co-host. You guys remember she was the guest co-host one night, and the girl did everything under the sun, all kind of party for us. She did. She a mess and a half, so I can only imagine. She said, Daddy, I want to drop your hat off for tomorrow night. So she made me dress up, Karen. She made me get dressed the last time she was on the show, all of that. Right. Yo, baby, I had on sequence, everything. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, look, yeah. Karen, will you come back and co-host with me again?
Anytime. All right. Anytime you need me. And I may have my sweet potato pie when we do that. How about that?
Look, right. You mean I have another one by there?
Yes.
Look, I done had 3 people hit me in the inbox talking about, when you get that pie, I need a little slice of that pie. Okay.
Well, they can purchase a pie they own, and you have your own pie. How about that?
You know how folks are. You know how these my golden girls. These my golden girls. I got them.
The golden girls are fat. Everybody else they got a pack.
I got you. Look, because they're gonna get a piece by dead big. They're gonna get a sliver. Right. You know, just a pinch. Right. The rest of it for me, babe. It is.
That's
I love you. God bless you, my
darling.
Thank you for spending the evening with me. Thank you
for
my wonderful audience. See you guys tomorrow at 12 noon on Instagram. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 for the Tuesday night edition of The Real Chat Daddy Show. We are out. I love you guys.
Love you.
Good night. Thank you so very much, Karen. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.